CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Havana calling. CQDX, CQDX, CQDX. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hi, amigos, radio aficionados all around the world, listening via shortwave and also by means of our streaming audio from www.radiohc.cu or via satellite picking up the signals from Hispasat 1D in geostationary orbit above Africa. I'm your host, Arnie Colo, Radio Amateur CO2KK. I'm now ready to start the middle of the week edition of your favorite radio hobby program, DXers Unlimited. And here is item 1. As anyone monitoring the high-frequency bands will easily find out, the low solar activity continues to limit the chances of shortwave propagation on frequencies above 20 MHz, even during the best times of the day at any given location worldwide. The exception comes when sporadic layer openings move the maximum usable frequency up past the 25 MHz range. By the way, short skip on the 20 meters band is always an advance warning that the maximum usable frequency is moving up towards the low band VHF region of the radio spectrum. Observations confirm that solar cycle 24 continues to show very weak activity as compared with any of the previous 5 solar cycles. Item 2, you have questions and I do my best to answer them as soon as possible. Yes, amigos, every day the email brings in most interesting questions from listeners all over the world. Like, for example, the one sent by amigo Francisco from Mexico City, Mexico, who listens to us regularly on our 11760 kHz 25 meter band frequency. Amigo Francisco complains about the fact that it's not possible for him in Mexico to pick up stations from other countries in the Americas besides Cuba, Argentina, and Brazil. Well, amigo Francisco, first of all, let me tell you that at this moment there are just a few stations on the air on the shortwave band with high enough power to be heard on a regular basis on many Latin American countries. Fortunately, there are still many stations operating on the tropical broadcast band, especially on the 60 meters band. I'll be back in a few seconds after a short break for Station D. I'm the host, Arnie Coro, in rainy Havana, Cuba. Yes, this is Radio Havana Cuba. The name of the show is DXers Unlimited, and we do QSL. We do confirm reception reports by sending our QSL cards to listeners that report our program, and this is done absolutely free of charge since the very first day we went on the air way back in 1961. Now, part 2 of the answer to amigo Francisco, who lives just outside Mexico City. Besides Radio Havana Cuba, that can be picked in Mexico City using a rather simple shortwave receiving antenna, you may be able also to pick up several stations from Brazil, as well as Argentina, Peru, and Bolivia. They are also on the air, especially on the 60 and 49 meter band, but the stations are using low power and simple low-cost antenna systems because they are intended mostly to provide local or regional coverage, not international coverage. When high-frequency band propagation conditions are good, you may pick up several of those low-power stations from Peru, Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, and even Mexico. Radio Educación is usually heard. Receptions of those low-power shortwave broadcasts, mainly on the 60 and 40 meter band, and also at times on 31 meters, is not too difficult. And this will usually take place very late in the evening, the local time, or just before local sunrise. For both shortwave listeners and amateur radio operators, the installation of an adequate external antenna for obtaining best results within the frequency range from 3.5 to 29.7 MHz, that's from 80 meters to 10 meters, is quite a challenge to say the least. City dwellers and people who live in urban apartment buildings face a great challenge when trying to listen to operate on the amateur band from 80 to 10 meters. By the way, the rooftops of high-rise apartment buildings are an ideal location for VHF, UHF, and microwave operations if you happen to be living at one or top floor. For that point, useless for that purpose if your apartment is located close to the ground, because that will require the installation of a very long, lossy length of transmission line. But despite all those difficulties, I very often come across a ham radio operator that with a lot of ingenuity comes to operate, for example, on the 20, 17, and 15 meter band, using different types of compact antennas, even balcony antennas. One of our regular DXers Unlimited listeners who is also an avid ham radio operator, asked about what could be done to install an antenna for the 20, 17, and 50 meter band that could fit into his apartment balcony that measures from one end to the other roughly 5 meters or about 16.5 feet. He's already in use 10 meter band and 6 meter band halfwave dipoles, plus some local contacts, and also some DXs from time to time when those bands open up. But as everyone now is fully aware, the 10 meter band openings via the F2 layer propagation are now very rare indeed due to the very low solar activity we're going through. The antenna I suggested to him fits perfectly well into a slightly less than 15 feet horizontal space, and when fed via factory made or a homebrew 1-to-1 balun and using a wide range antenna tuner has proven to be quite excellent performance. One good advantage of this antenna is that it can be installed in just a few minutes when you want to operate or listen to the radio, and likewise it can be taken down and placed in storage at a corner of the balcony in just a few minutes again. More about Arnie Coro's compact balcony and dipole antenna for you now. The good efficiency of this antenna is, despite its very short length, is due to the use of two carefully built high-Q loading coils and the nice-looking, well-designed end loading spiders, capacitive spiders, that act as effective capacitive load, reducing the length of the antenna while not compromising the efficiency. So far, all of our experiments with this antenna have proven that it will work quite well with a simple pi network antenna tuner, making it possible to operate on the 20, 17, and 50 meter band, as well as the 12, 10, and 6 meter band, using another antenna tuner optimized for the frequency range from 25 to 52 megahertz. The fact that the antenna is located inside the balcony gives it limitations as to what to both the overall current and also limit its use to power not to exceed 20 watts or so, for safety reasons regarding the exposure of people to radio frequency energy. And now, amigos, finally, as always at the end of the high frequency show, here is Arnie Coro's DXers Unlimited high frequency propagation update and forecast. Expect sporadic key openings to become more and more frequent after the end of May. The nighttime maximum useful frequency curve continues to exhibit its usual summer upward swing that starts after sunset, something typical of the northern hemisphere summer season, higher frequencies at night. Solar flux around 75 units, and please don't forget to send your signal reports and comments about this and other Radio Havana Cuba programs to info@rhc@enet.cu or via airmail to Arnie Coro, Radio Havana Cuba, and listen to the weekend edition of the show to be on the air next Sunday and Monday UTC days, just after the top of the hour newscast. See you there, amigos.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
It's Arnie Coro with DXers Unlimited for the weekend on Radio Havana Cuba. Also on the weekends, the weekend edition of DXers Unlimited.